I don't know that we have had a lot of lows, on the show. You tune into us to feel good. You tune into us to laugh. And so we don't want to make you sad. We don't want to make you watch our show and then walk away and feel worse than you did before you tuned in. So I think the disservice to us is that we are so conscientious about making people feel good about their lives that we keep a lot of our stuff inside and we deal with it privately. And so our level of escapism is with each other because, we have learned very early on that to keep your circle very tight, because if you don't, someone will cash in on it.
That's really good advice. What about, listen, like the Kardashians could tell you, like you said, like the cameras are there. There's lots of, who has changed the most from, who might love the cameras a little too much. I mean, we have the two of you, Savannah, Chase, we have Nanny.
I think that it would shock you, because I was going to let this be our last season, 4 seasons ago.
Right.
And
Every
season I was like, okay, we've done it now. We've now passed this milestone. We're in very thin air. We were compared to having the highest likability rating since I Love Lucy, which was huge for me. I've got a huge portrait of her in our formal living room, and I grew up with Lucy. So for me to be compared to that was like the epitome of a rival. But I think that after season 6 is when I said I'm ready to move on. And then everyone in the family, including my bride, said, I don't think we've said everything we need to say. I don't think we've done everything that we can do. And my mother's words were, are you out of your mind? I have a lot of friends because of this show. People like me more than they like you. That's why he wants to be off the show, Julie, because I'm the star. So
and that's the truth.
So, my mother, what the show has done is, my mother is 77 years old. She comes from a generation to where women were to be seen and not heard. My mother has a voice now, and everyone wants to hear it. And it's been very empowering for her. And that is probably the greatest accomplishment.
Well, you talk about all these successful spinoffs. Might we see a Nanny Faye spinoff one day?
You are going to be very, very excited at what you have coming.
I love it. What about true or false? And you could weigh in on this too, Julie. Todd, Savannah is your favorite child.
True.
Do you really think so?
Most days.
I don't think that I have a favorite child. I think that I certainly don't love any one child. Do you believe that I love one child more than the other?
That's not what that wasn't the question.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Favorite child.
Is your question, does Todd have a child that he likes more often than he does others?
Sure.
Would that be fair?
Yes.
Okay, then it would be Savannah. But the reason for that is because Savannah is my hardest working child. And I gravitate towards people that are hard workers, that don't require a lot of sleep, that knows that they have a list of things that they need to do when they need to get it done. And I'm not about just dicking around and dragging things out. I don't love Savannah more than I do any of my children. I mean, I would have to say that Chase makes me laugh more. Chase is my funniest child. And, he lights up a room when he walks in. I mean, I can be in a bad mood and he can walk in and do some kind of improv or some kind of impersonation of something, and it causes me to forget why I was even mad. And it's hard to be mad at him because he's that great. But Savannah is a good, decent human being. She takes after her mother. She's an honorable woman, and she's just got a servant's heart. Grayson is a 15-year-old who's gotten a little bit lippy lately because he's going through that testosterone flush. And I reminded him yesterday, if he wanted to live through puberty, he would remember who raised him. Kyle has a wonderful heart, and we've had our challenges with Kyle, but thank God he's on the straight and narrow now and doing great, happily married, and lives a very private life, and we're proud of him for that. And Lindsay is doing great. She's a single mother now, and she's an exceptional mother. So I think we have raised 5 good children that have stumbled, fallen, gotten back up, dusted themselves off, and I believe that's because they were raised in their faith.
Which everyone stumbles, right?
Oh, I've stumbled many times and woke up in beds I didn't know I was getting in.
Join the club. What about, well, one thing we see is like, I'm a single gay man who lives in New York. This is a happily married couple we see here. Like, what is the secret? We have Valentine's Day. Like, what is the secret to this marriage?
I think the secret to, or rather, I don't even know it's a
It's
secret.
not a secret.
I think that what makes mine and Julie's marriage work is that we have a mutual respect for each other, that we are 100% authentic with each other, that she has allowed me to be who I am and to make no apologies for it. I feel that I have done the same for
Absolutely.
you. And she is my safe place. And I hope that I'm that for her.
And I think we made a commitment a long time ago and we've stuck to that. And I think the generations, now I just don't think you have that. And I say that because we have children that are of this generation.
Well, there's too many options.
There's
today.
too many options. It's too easy to pack up your stuff and never look back, and I just don't think people are willing to put in the work.
And
Because
listen,
there's many times, as wonderful as he is,
And
that
I am
would love
wonderful.
to say, go away, I don't want to see you, but I don't do that.
it ain't never when I come in that bedroom.
Oh my gosh.
Is Todd as difficult as some might think he is from watching the show, Julie? I mean, I'm not saying that, Todd.
He is
I don't take
amazing.
offense to that.
Todd is amazing, but yes, he's a man. He's a successful man. He wants things the way he wants them. And you know what? I don't believe our family would be where we are today if he hadn't fought so hard for those things. So I am grateful that he is the way that he is.
I think that you might find it, and we'll do this here on your show because we've never done it before. I think that you would find if you were in our home every day that I am probably the most, I'm probably one of the most organized people that you will deal with. I'm very matter of fact. It is what it is. There is no gray in my life. It's not in my closet. It's not in my vocabulary. And I believe that you will also find that I'm probably one of the more forgiving people that you might know. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
I believe that, we all sin, we all make mistakes, we all have lapses in judgment. God knows I have. I mean, just Google my first marriage. But but I do believe that the mistakes that we make, if we learn from them, we become a greater version of who the old version was. And I believe that, I'm going to lift the sinner up. I'm not going to shame them for it. If someone's hungry, I'm going to feed them. If you need clothing, I'm going to clothe you. I'm not here to find comfort in someone else's pain. So I would like to think that when I'm dead and gone, one of the things that my children will say is that my father was a compassionate man.
That's important. So you're just like things a particular way, but you're very forgiving if people don't
Well, I'm
do
going
them
to have
that
them.
way.
I'm going to have them that way. I mean, it's the only way I know how to live. I don't function well with things in disarray and not having their own proper place. I don't function well in an unclean environment. I'm OCD. So, I mean, those are things that I know that I have, that I deal with. And that's just how my life has to be.